guys, it's Jen. This is another Jen is Zen episode of Reframing Me. In these short bits, I like to give you something that I hope you'll take with you to journal about or meditate on. Today, I'd like you to think about this. It's okay to feel whatever emotions that you feel, but don't let yourself live there. You have the right to feel all of the feels, but can you recognize who you truly are underneath that layer of emotions and bring yourself back to your center? Today, the day that I'm recording this, is an absolutely gorgeous spring day. It's warm but not hot with a very slight breeze. Most importantly, to me at least, is that the sun is shining, the sky is blue, there is not a cloud to be seen. I consider this to be a default day. This is how it's supposed to be. This is my baseline for weather. It's from here that when I think, oh, it's hot out, it's because it's hotter than this. Or when I think it's cold, I consider how much colder it is than this. Same with clouds or rain or humidity. And while we live in Hurricane Alley, so those are pretty different than today. Some days the sky fills with big, puffy white clouds. Some days are dark and stormy. Some days are smothering with heat and humidity. But a day like today, it's just so comfortable that you don't really even feel anything. But wow, it's just beautiful. That's why I consider it the default, how our weather is supposed to be. Can you think about what your default is? How should you feel inside? What's your interior baseline? To me, that's contentment. When I'm happy, but not bouncing off the walls ecstatic. I'm not sad or anxious or annoyed or worried. My baseline is when I feel calm, content, and peaceful. Something that I heard years ago has always stuck with me. The concept that our emotions are like the weather, and we need to realize that they're not who we are. They're just passing through, overhead, moving above our default day. Underneath those layers of emotions, that's our true, authentic self. And like the cloudy skies or the humidity or even a hurricane, eventually it passes and we see that calm blue sky once again. Too often, though, we see ourselves as the emotions instead of as ourselves. We start to confuse who we are underneath with those emotions. We are worried. We are sad. We are anxious. We are angry. It's hard for us to see beyond that thick layer of emotions to realize that it's not who we are. It will pass. Sometimes it's quick, a passing shower, and others it lingers. Some seasons we sit and wait. Hurricane season, monsoon season, snowstorm season. We just know that it's very possible for the weather to strike us and disrupt our lives at any point. But even that passes eventually. Instead, we need to recognize that we feel worry, we feel sadness, we feel anxiety, we feel anger. It is not who we are. Explore who you are underneath. Can you search to see who you are at your core beneath those layers? Maybe you've been stuck in a season for a long time. Or maybe you don't have the luxury of seeing that blue sky and default day very often right now. But that does not mean it's not there. When you learn to recognize the difference between your baseline authentic self and the passing emotions, you're able to see it from the perspective that this too shall pass. This is not who you are. Instead, it's simply how you are feeling. You may even begin to be a bit of an emotion forecaster and start to recognize the signs sooner so that you can even prepare just a bit. Just like we make sure to have an umbrella on a forecasted rainy day, or we can batten down the hatches for an approaching storm, or make sure our snow boots are accessible. You can begin to ready yourself for the situations that cause you anxiety or make you sad or bring you frustration. But sometimes the most destructive tornadoes come from out of nowhere and you are unprepared and feel destroyed. But you are still you underneath. You are stronger than any passing storm. You can develop the capability to build up your emotional resistance. This allows you to sit with your feelings and observe them rather than react to them. Allow yourself to be a neutral observer, recognizing how you feel physically and how it differs from your default. Notice what people or situations or events are causing you to feel this way. Don't try to explain it or justify it or fix it. Just recognize that you feel it and observe that it wasn't there before and it won't be there in the future. See the emotion as separate from your identity and not a place where you will live. You need to recognize that baseline strength, contentment, peace underneath, and detach your identity from them. You are free to experience any emotion that you feel, and no one ever has the right to take that away from you. But recognize that they are still just that, emotions that you are feeling. They are not who you are, so don't let yourself live there. Thank you so much for listening. I truly appreciate you spending this time with me. Please remember to follow the show so that you don't miss any new content. If you enjoy the show, please share it with your friends who might also benefit from or enjoy it. That's how we will grow our community. And if you might consider, I'd love if you went in and rated it 5 stars, obvi, and write a review because that will help others to find us too. Reach out on socials on Instagram and TikTok at Reframing Me. And on Facebook, it's Reframing Me. And join the Facebook group, Reframing Me, the podcast community, to connect with other women who are also raising teens and rediscovering themselves. Until next time, be well, communicate, and feel all the feels.